Number 1, Managing Oneself by Peter F. Drucker. This book is packed with really good information, but the biggest thing I took away from this book is not to focus on things that you're not strong at. Drucker says, one cannot build performance on weaknesses, let alone on something one cannot do at all. I mean, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Why focus on something that you're terrible at, just become mediocre at it? It makes much more sense to focus on something that you're actually good at and go 100% in on that, especially if it's something that you love. Number 2, The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. The whole gist of this book is that we have one thing that stands in the way of us doing the things that need to be done for us to prosper or go to the next level or for us to go pro. And that thing is called resistance. Resistance can show up in any form. He says here, resistance seems to come from outside of ourselves. We locate it in spouses, jobs, bosses, kids, whatever. Resistance can be anything. But resistance is good for one thing. And that one thing is it acts as a compass to the things that we actually need to do. Steven Pressfield says, the more important a call or action is to our soul's evolution, the more resistance we will feel towards pursuing it. That is probably one of the best lines I've ever read in a book. Number 3, Linchpin by Seth Godin. Basically what Seth Godin says in this book is that there are people, if you will, and then there are linchpins. So basically what a linchpin is someone who questions the status quo. Throughout the book, Seth basically talks about how following rules and not taking risks puts you actually at risk of becoming dispensable because you're just like everyone else. Seth says that if you create art and connect people, you become indispensable. You become a linchpin. Number 4, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book I've read countless times and there are so many things I could say about it, but I'll just leave it with a few of these major points. Napoleon Hill talks about how incredibly powerful the mind is. Obviously, you can't just think and grow rich. Napoleon says that people who believe that they will become rich to a nearly delusional level and follow that with action of red-hot fire and desire to accumulate riches will accumulate riches. So if you keep telling yourself and keep visualizing and follow that with action, then you will eventually accumulate riches. Number 5, Crushing It by Gary Vaynerchuk. One of Gary Vaynerchuk's huge things is truth. He basically says in Crushing It that truth will always win every single time. And if you are putting someone out there that's not completely you, eventually at some point your audience will learn or find the truth or something will break. And that'll ruin your entire legacy. He doesn't care about the short-term stuff. He only believes in the long-term stuff. So everything he does and everything he tells people to do in this book is for the long term. For a while, before I read this book, I thought that I had no valuable content to put out on YouTube or to tell you guys about. But it turns out that I'm 19 and I want to be an entrepreneur and I'm just starting. And that's an amazing place to start. Vlogging that process is something that can actually be valuable to people because it's my truth and it's also the truth for other people. And because we're so used to seeing perfection all the time on social media, like on Instagram, we're so used to seeing the best parts of people's lives. We're not used to seeing the dirty parts. We're not used to seeing the long nights. We're not used to seeing the parts that no one likes to talk about, which is why I want to take you guys on this journey of me doing whatever it is I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. But this book helped me to understand that I do have value. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little list of books that really had an impact in my life. I'll leave all the books in the description so you can check them out on Amazon. As always, thanks for watching. I love you guys and see you guys in the next video.